Hi, welcome to this new video on my pixel art maker component, which will be available on my Patreon and is hopefully really useful for anybody who would like to create still images that are pixel art. Maybe it's good for embroidery makers, game design, or like stickers or some design that you really need to have this style of pixel art. I try to think about and input all the little features that you might need for this to create the desired look, but I will walk you through it. Let's begin looking at what happens if we change our little image to something else, like our little smiley. So if I click, wow, and it's really fast and it's immediately there. You can try out our little butterfly, same thing. Inside of it, we have a feedback loop that generates pixel convolution and thresholds and some interesting things. You can look inside it once you get it. You can customize it however you'd like. I try to customize it in a way that is already really useful and like you can create many types of things really fast, mainly just pixelating images into this style. So what it does, that little feedback loop I just mentioned, is this pattern. And if I pulse this, as you can see, it looks the same right now. If I change my noise scale to 0, it will give us a different pattern, because right now it only gets our image outlines, and that is why it is like via the feedback loop repeated and basically generated in there. So maybe this is the look you desire. Maybe you want just a little bit of noise in it, so like add it and like change it. You can change the seed too, but every time you need to reset this to see your actual changes. And as you can see, whilst I'm holding it, like it's hard to like really hold this one, so I would recommend to get a keyboard in Chop, add a 1 key with a control modifier key, and activate and just apply this here. And right now, if I hold 1, it doesn't work, but if I get control and 1, it resets the whole component. So if I stop my timeline, that's the interesting part of this little component, that it has some features when you have a stopped timeline. You can like reset this thing, and if I hold it, you can actually see the original colors, sort of, if you remember how the little butterfly looks like. So that is something you might want to get. Maybe I will change my little image to this other illustration I made a really long time ago, like really long time ago. And if I reset it, voila, I got my little magician in there who has like eyes and all. Eyes here we don't have, but it's an interesting pixel art basically. So what if I want to get some background to it? Yeah, like let's add some purple or rather pink background, or I don't know, let's add like blue. That's just really easy, and pulse it. And as you could see, for a little time whilst I hold it down the reset key, it makes a different image. And you can either have this really like, which uses that noise pattern and like convolutes the whole image through it and over and over, and makes this thing look like this right now, or you can like hold down this and go get a null top, and you can lock it in. And if I release, you can see the difference in between these. This now holds our little magician. We can like save it if we want to with the right click and save image. Also, what I didn't really show you yet is that we can get a transparent background with this. And if I click it, voila, immediately I got a transparent background. Obviously, this is now locked, so we will just put him there. Let's get another null. And voila, we can get this. And it is in accordance to our output resolution in here. So that is what we get out. If we want the same resolution, we copy parameter and paste bind, actually. And it's really ugly-ish, but that is because our little TouchDesigner by default makes our viewer smoothness to interpolate our pixels. If we set that in the command tab to nearest pixel, it can get our same image there. But right now in 50 by 50 pixels, so the same as it's generated. So this is also one part. And some more things that I wanted to show you is basically what I added a switch with several little images in here. So I could get like an I love TouchDesigner little text in here, which is like a text top. And as you can see, it somehow still holds some colorful stuff, which we don't really have here. So what is really happening? We need to reset our stuff, and voila, it creates this really, really amazing little pixelation of text. I love this part. So as you can see, if you add it like high contrast stuff, it will possibly get it out correctly and really nicely. So, and as you can see, because right now the timeline is changed, if I even start the timeline, still holds the same pattern behind it, but has the different outline. And that is because we need to reset pulse or stuff every time we put something different inside of it, or like make a little change, because that is how we will see our changes. I left it that way because of this feature, like what we had beforehand, that you could get some other image in there, like a banana or something, and get its color in there, and then apply the other shapes outline to it or something. If you really desire doing stuff like that, I wanted to leave it there. And we can do the same thing. If we need to stop the timeline and like hold this thing, as you can see, it gets more of this original image's color. So maybe that is what we want to get. So now we logged it that also. So now it's saved. And I wanted to talk about this little transform options here. So why is that there? Basically, I don't recommend animating this thing too much, because eventually, if I start the timeline, I will move this thing. As you can see, the pixelation doesn't change behind of it, like the pattern doesn't change with it. For that to change, we would need to like pulse it every single frame. Like, we could do that, but I don't think it's ideal, and it's not the purpose I created this for. So but it still is relevant, because we could like rotate this thing and like move it also or something, and we can like pulse it again and stop the timeline and just watch it. Like, it still has these little pixel. I will put back my background so we can see it better. So it still is like a grid pattern, even though we are rotating it. It stays a grid pattern. But the pattern inside of it doesn't like change with it. Obviously, we need to reset it every time, and that way we can get this butterfly to there. So if I unlock this, hold it, lock it back, now it's different. So that is something also. But if I want to, let's say, like reset this and like put it back to the original position and send this to a transform, and obviously change the common tabs interpolation to nearest pixel, because that is what we want to get there. We will notice that if we like have okay, now it's set to 50 by 50, so it's still like it's low resolution enough to have this pixelation, but originally we didn't have that. So I will just reset parameter, and immediately you can see why I set that there, set this transform option in here, because this way we can see the aliasing is struggling a lot, and it's not doing that staircase type of thing we had beforehand. Like here, it is a diagonal form, and it like cuts it in a like normal way. If we look at this in here, we see that or bigger steps in here are like diagonal. Like if we zoom in too much, it's still the same staircase, but because this is now a high resolution image, it is basically sort of ruined in this manner. Yeah, so if we want to like have a still image that is like sort of rotated, that we can create in here inside the component. If we want to animate this thing, I would have a transform top and animate it in here. So I wanted to note this because I think it's important. And yeah, I think we went through it all. Let me know if you have any questions. You can get this component on my Patreon for free. Just you need to subscribe. Tag me in your creations so I can see what you created with this. I'm really curious. Like, share, and subscribe as always. And see you in the next one. Bye bye.